Hello, so welcome to the show. It's Create a Life You Love here with Sarah Shakespeare. Really happy to have you here this evening. If you haven't come online with me before and listened to my show, what I do on this show, it's not a fitness show or a nutrition show because I do training. It is a show about helping you create a life that you love. So every guest that I have on each time we're on the air, it's somebody that's going to help you create a life that you love just on your terms. So I have different types of guests coming on and they talk about different types of things for men and for women. And I hope that at the end of each show, you go away with lots of information, lots of positive energy, lots of positive thinking, and you go away and it makes you want to create a life that you love. So if you don't know me already, I'm Sarah Shakespeare and I've been in the health and fitness industry for 25 years. It's an industry that I absolutely love and it was the perfect industry for me to be in. From a very young age, I was very much into sports, very much into the gym when I was a teenager. So really from a very young age, I've been into fitness. So when it was actually time to kind of pick my career path, it was definitely the career path that I had to go down. I'm a big people person. So for me to be able to do a job where I could be around people all day and talk about something that I absolutely love, then that was the perfect thing for me. So very happy to be doing that. I know that I've spent lots of my life changing different people's lives, whether it's through their lifestyle, it's through weight loss, through fitness, like anything that's to do with good health, I've helped them with. So I'm a big believer in practicing what I preach. So I also have been doing lots of different fitness things throughout my life, and it's a big enjoyment of mine in my spare time when I'm not doing it through helping other people. I live in British Columbia in Canada, and I have to say that it's my dream destination. I moved from England in the year 2000, and I often call it my millennium move. So I moved here with my husband, and I have 3 children. And yes, it's definitely my dream destination. Wherever I go in the world, I'm always very happy to come back to where I live. So feel very lucky to be able to come back every day to where I love. And I talk about mindset and how mindset is really important for living a life that you love and creating that and knowing what the right thing is for you to do each day. When it was a big decision for me to move from England because I had a lot of family and friends there, but I knew that there was a great life waiting for me if I could just create it somewhere else as well. So although I had a wonderful job there, great family, great friends, I knew that I could create a life you love somewhere else. And I've managed to do that over the last 17 years. So that's why it's really important for me to be able to help people do their lifestyle changes, have their positive mindset, have the energy that it takes to be able to get through each day. So that's why it's been just great for me. Now, I also do public speaking, and when I do speaking, one of my keynote speeches is called How Mindset, Self-Care and Ambition Can Create a Life You Love. So I believe that mindset, self-care and ambition are all connected to help you create a life that makes you want to just jump out of bed. So think about self-care. Just think about how much you need to do for yourself each day. A lot of people think it's selfish and they don't want to do it and they're so, wrapped up with their family and friends. For me, it's really important that you engage in self-care. And, a lot of different people think self-care is different for what they want to do. For me, I like the hairdressers. I love the gym. I love to meet a friend for tea. I like time on my own where I can listen to music. So self-care is different. Some people like to meditate, do yoga. They like to go for a walk. Or they just like to be on their own at home watching Netflix. So whatever you think is self-care, you need to be able to engage in that each day. Now, when I went to, start this radio show, I was asked what was I going to call my show. And without hesitation, I said it would be called Create a Life You Love. Because I believe that everyone's idea of an ideal life is different. And I didn't just want to have a health and fitness show where I talked about nutrition and training. I wanted it to be really widespread. So that's why I believe that when you get different advice from different people, you're really able to bring that into your own life, help your friends, help your family. So I am on what I call the 100-year plan. So anything that I do in my life is geared towards being here for 100 years because I have an absolute passion to meet my great-grandchildren. I would love to meet them and them just say to me, hey, Nana Sarah, have you got a bit more advice for us? So really do everything health-wise, risk-wise, decision-wise to kind of follow up with my 100-year plan. So I work with all different age groups and talk to all different people about different things that they can do to try and live a long life. Now, one thing I've started to do this year, which has been great for me, and I've meant to do it for a long time, and I started doing it this year, was write a little bit more about my life. And I've co-authored in some books this year. One of them is called Women Rising, and that talks about a positive attitude that I've had since from a very, very young age. And I've talked about how my parents instilled a very, very positive mindset in me from a young age. So I luckily have gone through life with a positive mindset. I was told from easily age 2, and definitely by the time I started school, I was told that anything was possible in my life. And I listened to my mum and dad, and I really believed going through life, anything was possible. So the first book really talks about how my childhood really sculpted me to the person I am today, and how I thank my parents for that, and the environment that I was in and the different things that I was exposed to really helped me create a life bigger than what I ever thought was possible as a young child. The next book that came out is in a co-author book again, called Live Out Loud. And that chapter is called Starting and Finishing the Story Together. And that talks about my parents' 45-year journey together when my dad passed away 2 weeks after my mum's funeral. So the whole story is about having gratitude for people that are here, that influence you. So I know that it's a sad story, but at the same time, I really talk about the joy that I had throughout my life and having them there, helping them in their final days, and everything and the effects of how that has had on me and my family and friends since their passing. So it's not a terribly sad story when you read it. There are sad bits in it, but it talks really about gratitude and really loving people while they're here. And the third book I have coming out actually on November the 1st of this year is called The 3 Ds. And it's discipline, dedication, and, discipline, dedication, and determination. And what that means in life and how you need those 3 points to get through life. And that book is called Born to Be Me. And when I was given the opportunity to be into that book, I thought, okay, what am I going to write about this time? And I really am into fitness. I am into sports. I do love that. I've loved it from a young age. So that story talks about my experience with fitness competitions and with my athletic achievements, and how that dedication and discipline and determination has helped me get exactly where I want to get in life. So I know that, there's different points that I want to put across. I do believe that when you're coaching people and you're working with them from a personal training point of, contact, you really need to be able to have that background where you're motivated yourself, and you're able then to help people get over their blocks of things that are setting them back. So if you've never had setbacks yourself, then you can't really help them do that. So that's that's a little bit about myself. Like I say, I do practice what I preach. I think that's such a big deal when you're trying to influence people, to do things as well. I also know that, a lot of people have an amazing story to tell where they can help others. And, I know that the one thing that I want to do throughout my life, since I have such a great intention in being here for so long, I want to really be able to help people do that. So it was the perfect job for me to go in from a young age, and the age groups that I've worked with has been amazing. I've worked with all different age groups, and even when I was younger, I actually got to work with people that were older than me, and I couldn't believe that they listened to me right from an early age. And I think it's because I was extremely passionate about the fitness and the nutrition side, and really encouraging people to live a long, wonderful life. So I know from that, I've really, really enjoyed being in that environment. Now, my guest tonight is Kandace Stoneman, who is amazing, and she is a mindset coach. And I honestly think that your mindset, I talk a lot about this on Facebook. So I know if you follow me on Facebook, you know that, I talk a lot about how mindset is really, really important in getting things straight in your life. So when I think about how that works for you, when your mindset isn't straight, there's so many things that can come up that you really, really struggle with. So I'm really, really excited to have Kandace on the show tonight. She is a certified life coach, a mindset mentor. She does public speaking. She's a mental health advocate, an author in the making. She hasn't quite got her books out there yet, but she's got lots of ideas flying around in what she'd like to put together. We will talk with her tonight over a lot of different things to do with confidence and mindset and how she's managed to conquer different things throughout the life. She teaches mental health and wellness workshops and shows the tools and skills that you will need as you're going through life. She works in the school district. She does private workshops for youth to promote healthy body image and confidence. And she loves to also host live events to empower women to be at their best. And I actually met Kandace last year at a live event that was great, that we were both at. And then I went on to attend one of Kandace's actual live events that she did personally that I thought was amazing. So I kind of had a connection with Kandace way back that I thought she'd be a great guest to have on the show. Kandace has an empathic heart to anyone suffering or longing to feel more satisfaction in their life because she knows what it feels like all too well. She struggled with depression and low self-esteem for most of her life, and it wasn't until Kandace hit rock bottom in 2009 that she finally discovered what it takes to be happy and escape the emotional prison she was living in. Whether it's one-on-one coaching or attending a live workshop, Kandace loves to pay what she's learned forward and help others find the same emotional freedom and inner happiness that she has now. So many things are going to come up tonight that I hope are going to help you, and it's all part of creating a life that you love. In this episode tonight, we're going to discover the cycle that can keep you suffering or successful. We're going to understand the most powerful thing you can do to change the way you feel. And we're also going to cultivate awareness in this one area to becoming happier today. So Kandace has got these wonderful answers for you. There's some other questions we're going to go over tonight as well with her. So I would like to introduce Kandace to you tonight. Hi, Kandace. Are you there?
Hi, Sarah. Yes, I'm here. I wanted to first say thank you so much for having me on your show. And that is the loveliest lead-up introduction I've ever had. So thank you very much.
Good. No, it's easy to do that for you. So I wanted to get all of your information out there so that everybody can see what you do, what you're about, all the extensive things that you do, because there's so much that you do and you work in lots of different areas with lots of different people. So I wanted to make sure that, people know exactly what you're about, what you offer, and what you could do for them. Tell me a bit more about the discover the cycle that can help you suffering or successful. Tell me a bit more about what that means to people.
Yeah, so that cycle, and I will get in more into that story a little bit deeper as I share my own personal story, but the cognitive cycle is the cycle that I'm talking about, whether that will keep you stuck or successful. And that cognitive cycle was a key for me in, changing the direction of my life. And I'd love to share it with your viewers, your listeners, because it made such a huge impact. And so what that is, and some people listening might already know it, but it's definitely worth writing down.
Good.
So the first thing is your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings create your behaviors. And then your behavior reinforces your thoughts. So, my next question, it's going to kind of lead into that. But, when you can have positive thoughts, that will have a direct impact on the way you feel. And of course, the opposite, if you're thinking negative thoughts all the time, you're going to feel negatively. You're going to have, feel bad and feel depressed. So when we really change our thoughts to be more positive, you're going to change your life. And so it really starts with your thoughts. Just to put that out there one more time, it's your thoughts, then your feelings, then your behavior, and then your behavior reinforces your thoughts. And that one simple thing will make such a difference.
And how do you think, when people need to understand the most powerful thing you can do is change the way you feel, are there any tips that you can give people to kind of make them, guide them towards how they can actually do that themselves?
Absolutely. So I'm going to answer that in two parts.
Okay.
So the first thing, when we're not even aware of the thoughts we're thinking, that is a problem. And so when we can first have the awareness of what thoughts we're thinking, and I want to just give a tip because this helped me so much, was as soon as I had the first realization, the first moment of, oh my gosh, I'm thinking negatively again,